Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment. It is time for a new 2018 NFL mock draft. It is not Monday. I miss Mondays, but it's okay because I'm here now to give an all new 2018 NFL mock draft. Remember to subscribe for new mock drafts every week. And the theme for this video, and from now on, I want to do themes in each mock draft, right? I want to talk about a central topic as best as I can. The theme today is quarterbacks, right? I want to talk about quarterbacks, which team should be looking at quarterbacks, which teams to me should not, and there's a lot of teams that should. Let's start at the top with the Cleveland Browns. Now, to me, look, it's obvious, man. They need a quarterback. DeShone Kizer, look, I liked him coming out. I was never completely convinced that he was going to be a franchise quarterback, but I thought there was a possibility that he could. And I understand that Hugh Jackson, yeah, he probably ruined him, but Hugh Jackson is still there, okay? If they really wanted to keep DeShone Kizer and get rid of Hugh Jackson and bring a new head coach to fix DeShone Kizer, then maybe I'd be down for that, but Hugh Jackson is still there. So what we need is a quarterback that is so good to where Hugh Jackson can't even screw him up. And if DeShone Kizer really is good, he can sit on the background for a bit and maybe could be a Kirk Cousins for this team in the future if the first quarterback fails, right? Look at Kirk Cousins. When he was drafted by the Washington Redskins, right, he was able to sit behind RG3 for a number of years. Turns out RG3 wasn't that great. Kirk Cousins ended up starting for the Redskins, continues to start for the Redskins, and although they don't appreciate him, he's done well for the Redskins. So the move to me is clear. You take a quarterback first overall who you hope is better than DeShone Kizer, and eventually, even if he's not, you can still move back to DeShone Kizer, right? I mean, we have years to wait for Kizer. He still has 3 years under contract, and if you hide him on the bench, he probably won't go anywhere if he really doesn't want to, okay? Or no one's gonna really look to sign him because he hasn't done anything after 3 years. So we'll see, right? To me, though, let's start by taking a quarterback first overall. So the first move, identify which quarterback you want. Now, again, I'm mocking Sam Darnold to the Cleveland Browns because from what I'm hearing, Josh Rosen does not want to go to Cleveland Browns, and I'm hearing stuff. I have a team source from the NFC West, let's just say that, who's telling me there are serious character concerns with Josh Rosen, that he's really concerned about making money in the NFL, having a long career, and he doesn't want to go to Cleveland. Now, this NFC West team scout, because of that, has a 4th round grade on Josh Rosen, but he'll tell you himself, Josh Rosen is a very talented guy. So if the Browns want to just swallow the pill, take Rosen anyway, and hope he shuts up, you can do that. But to me, that's starting your team off on the wrong foot. I would just identify someone else if you can, right? If you think it's close, then identify someone else. If you think Rosen is far and away the best quarterback, then just take. Now, I've just began my quarterback evaluation, so I can't tell you where I have Josh Rosen ranked, but I will tell you he's in my top 3. Okay, I really like Josh Rosen. I think he's going to be a franchise quarterback as long as those serious character concerns are fixed. And boy, people, they are serious with Josh Rosen. That boy just wants to make some money, bang some girls, and that's it. And that kind of concerns me just a bit. So I have the Browns taking Sam Darnold. I have the Giants taking Josh Rosen. But I'm telling you, I don't even love this pairing because, again, people, these Josh Rosen concerns are serious, and now you're drafting him in New York. Now he's going to be playing in New Jersey, but he's been spending most of his time in New York City doing all the things that he does. I don't trust that. That's a situation I don't trust. Okay, especially the Giants that have had reserved and quiet Eli Manning all these years, now having party boy Josh Rosen. That would be very interesting indeed. But that's what I have, and the Giants should definitely take a quarterback to me. Look, move on from Eli Manning because you're going to need a new running back. You're going to need a new offensive line to me. Pretty much the whole offensive line, at least 3 out of 5 components of the offensive line needs to be replaced to me, at least 2. The defense needs repairing. Again, I have a new head coach in Pat Shurmur, who has coached before, but man, to me, he's an offense guy. Get a new quarterback for him and just start fresh, man. Start cleaning in New York. You're gonna have to rebuild for a year, most likely. But hell, we've even seen the Rams after 1 year, with the new head coach, they even turned out to be a playoff team. So I won't even discount this Giants team next year. But the first step to me is drafting a quarterback, and that's what I have happening with the Giants selecting Josh Rosen. But again, I think this pairing could be quite volatile. All right, move on to number 5, the Denver Broncos. What should they do? Again, I think they should take a quarterback, man. Trevor Siemian, look, I was trying to defend him coming into this year. I didn't think he was that bad. I still don't think he's that bad, but he's certainly not good enough. He's not a franchise quarterback. He's not a guy you should invest the future in. Now, the Broncos have asked to coach Baker Mayfield at the Senior Bowl, so that's why I made this pairing in my mock draft. Baker Mayfield to the Denver Broncos, and I thought last week that John Elway would not like Baker Mayfield, but apparently he's intrigued, and I think he should be. I was not expecting to like Baker Mayfield as much as I did when I turned on the tape, but after watching the tape, people, I actually like this guy. Now, he has some character concerns too, but I think his concerns are less than Josh Rosen, so I think this could be a good pairing in Denver. We move on to number 6, the New York Jets. Now, I don't have them getting a quarterback here, but again, I think they probably should. Again, I have to mention this. I mentioned this last week. What we do have to consider greatly is the fact that there are so many free agent quarterbacks that are about to become available. Sam Bradford will likely be on the move. Teddy Bridgewater, Alex Smith, Eli Manning could be traded, right? There are so many quarterbacks that are about to be on the free market, so I don't want to mock every team that should get a quarterback to get a quarterback, because a lot of these teams will end up signing or trading for one in free agency. Today, the Jets, I just didn't mock it, but again, they obviously need one, but I have them getting offensive guard Quenton Nelson today. I know Jets fans probably won't like this. No one likes getting a guard in the first round, but ask the Cowboys how well that worked out with Zach Martin. It worked out great. He's an all-pro guard. It's great. It's fantastic. It's great. As long as the guy is good enough, I think you should really consider taking a guard at this spot to help your offense, and then help the new quarterback, whoever it could be. I mean, it could be Alex Smith. I mean, I would not be shocked if Alex Smith made a home in New York. We move on to the next team that I want to discuss, the Washington Redskins at 14. Now, look, this is a team that should not take a quarterback to me, but I have them taking one. I don't understand what the Redskins are looking for at the quarterback position. Kirk Cousins, to me, is an above average quarterback in the NFL. Now, I don't think he's quite top 10, but I think he's damn close, and I think he's a guy that you need to keep and build around. You've never given Kirk Cousins a good run game. You've never given him a good defense. Imagine what's going to happen when you actually give him those things. And this year, his wide receivers were not good. They were not consistent. Terrell Pryor battled injuries. Josh Doxson drops half the balls that are thrown his way. Oh my God, and Jordan Reed, he can't stay healthy to save his life. Kirk Cousins is the only reason the Redskins have not been a 2-14, 3-13 disaster. And I think the minute they get rid of him and they move on to like a Mason Rudolph, which I have here, the Redskins are going to bottom out, people. I think they're nuts. I think they need to focus on actually building a good football team around Kirk Cousins. Now, yes, he does choke on the national stage in these nationally televised games on Sunday Night Football and the playoffs. He doesn't do great in those matchups. I understand, but I think they're nuts if they get rid of this guy, because there are so many look at the quarterbacks that are currently in the playoffs. Nick Foles, Case Keenum. Now, the reason they're there is because they have great defenses, which you have not been able to build. Now, imagine if you're able to build a pretty good defense and you have Kirk Cousins, who's a better quarterback than Case Keenum and Nick Foles. I know Case Keenum has played well this year, and I'll give him credit for that, and I'll always give him credit for that. You know me. But I'm still taking Kirk Cousins over Case Keenum, as will likely most of you. Stick with Kirk Cousins. Just do it, man. Just do it. And then build a good team around him. I think they need to start looking at the general manager, who's been unable to build a good defense for years now. All right, move on to 15, Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, to me, draft a quarterback in Arizona. Now, I'm not sure if it should be first round, because right now I'm mocking Lamar Jackson out of Louisville. Now, my thing on Lamar Jackson, I'm about to come out with a scouting report on him. If you are willing to go all in and use his legs consistently as the Panthers use Cam Newton's legs, then go ahead and draft Lamar Jackson, because he could be dangerous, dog. But in doing that, you have to hope that he never gets injured. Good luck with that. And you have to hope that he's good enough as a passer to pass by. And I think he would be, but he'd be dangerous. I probably wouldn't do it, but I don't know how much of a choice you have, because at this point, it would either be him or Josh Allen. Now, I have not gone into Josh Allen yet. I hear mixed reviews. I'll tell you what I think later. I think the second round might be better, where Lamar Jackson could still be available, Josh Allen could still be available, Mason Rudolph could still be available, and in the first round, you take your new wide receiver, your new offensive tackle, because, man, the Cardinals got work to do. The Cardinals are about to bottom out, most likely. The defense still has nice pieces, right? Tyrann Mathieu, Deon Buchanan. Last year, they drafted Hassan Reddick. And they also drafted the safety Budda Baker, right? They're all pretty good players. The defense is still looking good, but Larry Fitzgerald's probably going to be out there soon. Bruce Arians gone, quarterback situation. Carson Palmer now retired. The Cardinals are probably have to rebuild next year. I mean, that's just the most likely thing. They could win with that defense and a young quarterback, but you just probably doubt it, right? So I would just take the L this year, in 2018, this upcoming year. Draft a good player in the first round, then second round, come at a quarterback. I think that probably would be the better thing to do, unless if there's a quarterback that falls that you really like maybe I'm projecting Sam Darnold too high. Maybe he falls. I don't think that he will, but maybe he does. Maybe Baker Mayfield falls and you take him. I'd love that for Arizona. So I think there's multiple options. Let's get a little closer to the draft before we definitively say what they should do, but for right now, that's what I'm feeling. We move on to the next team that should consider a quarterback, or that most people think should, the Buffalo Bills, and to me, they actually should. Tyrod Taylor, I've defended him somewhat. I think he's okay, but he's definitely not good enough. I'll tell you that. You're never gonna win a Super Bowl with Tyrod Taylor. Most likely. I mean, I keep saying most likely though, because we keep seeing right now, we're seeing Nick Foles, Case Keenum, and Blake Bortles in the playoffs. So if you can build a great ass defense, you never know, right? But I'd rather build a team knowing that I don't have to do that. I'd rather build a team knowing that if I do build a great defense, we're definitely gonna win because our quarterback is good enough. But if we don't, it's okay because our quarterback is good enough to where we can still compete every year despite not having a great defense, right? That'd be my objective. And Tyrod Taylor, his only way of ever winning is if he has a great run game and a great defense. Any other way, it's not gonna work. So you have to hope that you can build that, and you probably won't. So my move is to move away from Tyrod Taylor. Now, the Bills getting Josh Allen, right? This is the 6th quarterback in my first round, right? 6 quarterbacks going in the first round. And I think this will be fine. Now, I think he needs development from what I've heard. Again, I haven't watched this tape myself, but I'm pretty sure he needs development, and you'd have to take time with him. But Sean McDermott is leading this defense, right? I have them getting another defensive player with their second pick here. There are some changes that they need to make as Kyle Williams gets older, Jerry Hughes gets older. They have to replace those guys to me sooner rather than later. But you like what's going on over there. Josh Allen would have time, but this Bills offense, it's in a little bit too much flux for me. LaShawn McCoy is getting older. Kelvin Benjamin, is he worth resigning? We don't know. Jordan Matthews, same thing. Now, Jordan Matthews is a free agent in 2018. Benjamin not until 2019. But this is still concerning. So I think Josh Allen or whoever the Bills would draft would probably struggle, right? But as long as he's good enough to score maybe 20 points a game and let the defense do their thing under Sean McDermott, they'd probably be fine. So we'll see what happens there. And the last team, actually 2 teams I want to discuss real quick, because I don't think the chances are very high. The Pittsburgh Steelers, okay, at 28. To me, don't do it. You drafted Joshua Dobbs last year, whom I don't love. But just wait on that. Ben Roethlisberger looks fine to me. He looks healthy to me. Although there were retirement rumors in the middle of the season, by the end of the season, he said he wanted to play again. So no worries there to me. I'm not mocking it. I'm sorry, I'm not mocking it. And then we move on to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, this is possible, but I think the move for the Jaguars, and I think everyone can agree on this, find a veteran. Go find an Alex Smith or an Eli Manning. Go invest in a guy like that. You don't want a rookie to me. If you think a rookie is going to be better than Blake Bortles, I think you may be mistaken, right? I mean, it can happen, but most rookies struggle in the first year, right? So I don't think that's the answer to winning a Super Bowl. Now, if you're looking to build a dynasty, then perhaps I could actually buy drafting a quarterback in the first round, but I already have 6 going in the first round before you even pick. Okay, so what the Jaguars might need to do, and I would really consider this, try trading up. I mean, we saw last year the Chiefs trade up from like the 25th pick to the 12th pick, and they selected Patrick Mahomes. If I'm the Jaguars, I might trade up from the 29th to the top 15 and select a Mason Rudolph, a Josh Allen, a Lamar Jackson, whomever, because that actually might make sense to me. This Jaguars roster at this point is pretty set. You have a franchise running back, your offensive line is looking a lot better than it was last year. Your defense, a lot of contracts right there are over on that side of the football or locked up for the near future, and you still have decent cap cap room. So actually, I might do that. Now that I actually think about it, I might move up. I think sticking at 29 though and hoping someone falls and taking that guy, I'm not sure if that's the best strategy though, and I probably wouldn't do that. I'd prefer to go out and get a veteran, but I think my number one option would actually be to trade up and find someone that I like there. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on the quarterback situation for this 2018 NFL draft. Again, we are currently 3 months out, so things are going to change, and as things change, I will update my mock draft every damn week, and I'll update my thoughts as well. Next week, we may discuss running backs or wide receivers or whatever the hell I feel like. We'll discuss and figure that out next week. Until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.